Have you ever needed to update firmware on many devices in a production facility? Or edited an arbitrary file on a PC that then needed to be run on a power supply? Access and in-person operation of instruments can be challenging in many working environments, such as a production setup or remote test room. In these cases, accessing the instrumentation's GUI remotely would be more advantageous. Rohde & Schwarz DC power supplies and LCX meter can be operated remotely over Ethernet-based services. In this video, we will explore the functionality of remotely operated Ethernet-based services with an NGU 201 Rohde & Schwarz power supply. These services are comprised of an instrument WebPage, VNC remote control, and FTP file transfer between the instrument and a remote computer. To access an instrument's GUI remotely, an Ethernet connection must be established between the instrument and computer. When the instrument's IP address is entered in a web browser, the instrument's web page opens. This will include a Skippy device control page, a VNC device control page, as well as a place to access network settings, change your password, and locate documentation. Parameters set within the user interface can be edited and sent to the instrument. Make sure your VNC and FTP networks are turned on. To connect the VNC port must be enabled. To connect the FTP, a username and password must be set. All information about network settings can be found under the Network Settings tab. If information is changed under this tab, the connection will be lost. The Skippy device control page offers a text box for entering Skippy commands to be sent to the instrument. The commands and query response are listed in a history text box below. Refresh screen data queries a hard copy of the instrument's GUI in its current state. The VNC user interface shows the complete front panel of the instrument. The GUI on the screen can be operated with the mouse in the same way as the touchscreen. Front panel keys can also be pressed by mouse click. What you do within this tab will also be shown on the screen of the instrument. You can change your password under the Change Password tab. Under the Documentation tab, you will find a link to an abbreviated electronic version of the instrument's user manual. There is also a link to the instrument's product webpage. For remote file transfer via FTP, a valid FTP port must be enabled. You can use special apps like FileZilla to access the FTP server on the instrument. However, this can also be done using Windows File Explorer. You can add a network location in Windows File Explorer, which gives permanent access to the FTP server of the instrument. The file system of the instrument will appear with the specified name in the navigation pane of Windows File Explorer. There are many situations where in-person operation of instruments can be challenging. In these cases, it's more advantageous to access the instrument's GUI remotely. Rohde & Schwarz DC power supplies and LCX meter can be operated remotely over Ethernet-based services. It includes access to the instrument's GUI on screen, Skippy command controls, file transfer, and electronic documentation. For more information, the application note can be found on our website.